It was a simple advertisement for a circus show. Very simple. Just a picture of a man with the words, "The Amazing Man. Come see him live at the Lannister County Circus this weekend." To a 10-year-old, like you, this was the pinnacle of entertainment. Magic, jokes, spectacles the likes of which no one has seen before. Well, that's what the flyer had said. You begged your parents to take you to see it. How could they say no to a face like that? Well, they did. And you were heartbroken about it. Something about them not having the time or money just didn't register with you. How could it? You had no concept of money back then. The whole week you were juggling between really mad and really sad that you couldn't go to see the Amazing Man and all his tricks and secrets. One of your friends, however, was going though, and this was the tipping point. How dare they go and you can't? Well, your friend was smart to come up with the idea that you could stay over at his place for a few hours. Then his parents could take you along with them. They did only have tickets for the three of them, so you figured you'd just sneak in after telling your friend's parents your mom and dad would meet you there. For the rest of the week, you could barely keep this plan a secret. But you managed. Now, it was Friday, the first show of the weekend, and your plan was coming together. The excitement was killing you. You were ready to see elephants disappear, and men and women risk their lives to swing high above the ground. It was going to be the experience of a lifetime, and you'd get to brag to your friends on Monday about all the things you saw, and they didn't. It was time. You got in the car, and you were nearly bursting out of your seat when they pulled up to the gates of the circus. The car stopped, and you flew out the door. Your friend's parents didn't seem to worry about your sudden rush. After all, you were meeting up with your own parents, right? You found the tent that had the most exciting words written in shining gold and silver. The Amazing Man. You almost were able to rush right in, but not before the attendant stopped you. "Whoa there, you can't just rush in there, kid." You asked him why not. "You need a ticket. Do you have a ticket with you?" You said no. "Well, I'm afraid I can't let you in then." Defeat. You've forgotten all of your excitement. You were going to sneak in. Of course, how could you forget? The show started in 10 minutes, so you waited just around the corner, watching people pay up and go in. They had to sign in on a clipboard. Was this so you could leave and come back before the show started? You had no idea. Then you saw your friend and their parents walk up to the man, show their tickets, sign, and go in. Now, it was time. You walked around the perimeter of the tent, looking for a spot where you could crawl under it. You found one, fairly easily. You found your friend and sat down next to him. His parents asked where your mom and dad were, and you said they didn't feel like watching it, and they bought it. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. This was it. A man walked into the center of the room, spotlight shining off his all-white suit. The crowd was quiet for a few seconds. "Ladies and gentlemen, you're all here to see something amazing, correct?" A few people whistled. "Good, because that's exactly what you're going to get." He vanished. Then the spotlight shone into the air, and there he was, just floating. The crowd went wild. You were awestruck. From this point on, everything he did was better than the last. He summoned an entire rhino, had it charge at him, only for him to disappear and rip open the rhino from the inside, showing that it was just a costume. But it had looked like a real, full-sized rhino, and it had moved like a living animal. This was blowing your mind. From time to time, he would fly around the room while catching the other performers. He would seamlessly take an audience member and put them into the trapeze performance as if they had been there the whole time. The list could go on and on about all the things he did. But then the finale came, and you could tell this was going to be good. The Amazing Man was back in the center, all lights on him. Today, you people have seen things that make you question what is real and what is fiction. But for my final trick, I will show you something that will astonish even the most certified skeptics. Bear witness. Your heart rate was through the roof. In one swift motion, he detached himself from his shadow. The audience nearly jumped out of their seats, cheering and whistling, whoops and deep breaths. All you could do is sit there with your mouth on the floor. The Amazing Man started to interact with his shadow. It reminded you a lot of Peter Pan. His shadow would fly around the room, juggle, and mimic its creator. The shadow landed back down by the Amazing Man. My lovely audience, I have lied to you, and I am sorry. This was not my final trick. He then pulled out a knife and stabbed it into the shadow. It reacted like a real person. The audience was silent, not sure if this was disturbing or leading up to something incredible. He then picked up the lifeless shadow. My fellow onlookers, tonight, you get to be a part of the act. Every single one of you. Disappearance is a fun little thing, isn't it? He then cast his shadow over the whole room. You looked at your friend. He was staring blankly into thin air. You tried to nudge him, but he seemed unattached. Even his parents. As you looked, you saw everyone in the room starting to become transparent. And soon enough, everyone was gone. Even the Amazing Man. You sat there for a few seconds, unsure of what to do. You finally got up and exited the tent. You told the attendant what happened, everything. Kid, there's no magic show here. You stumbled on your words and pointed up toward the sign of the tent. All it read was the large animal exhibit. You knew what was in there. You knew what you saw. You rushed back into the tent, waiting to see a medium-sized circus stadium. But all there were tigers and lions. You walked back out, not a word spoken. You walked back to your friend's car, but it was gone. With no other option, you called your mom to have her pick you up. While in the car, she asked how you got to the circus, and you told her your friend's parents took you. And she had no idea who you were talking about. You insisted it was your friend's parents, and asked her to take you to his house. But now it was just an old, run-down shack. After a while, the whole thing blew over. You didn't go back to the circus after that. Years later, after you moved to another town, you saw a flyer. It read, The Amazing Man! Come see him live at the Walkers County Fair this weekend. Those memories came flooding back. You looked on the back of the flyer. It showed a title that said, His magic would not have been possible without the great onlookers of his past performances. The list was 4 columns long. As you scrolled through the names, you caught a glimpse of 3 specific names. Your friend's name and his parents'. It's a good thing you didn't sign that clipboard.